Morrison.
Work with me.
Welcome to the Sedano and Cap Morning Show. The Raider himself, Raider broadcaster, of course, ESPN college football, friend of the program. I bring you to hug you into my bosom.
Oh, wow.
On a day where I tried to tell you this was going to be the same song, Kirk Morrison.
No, it's not the same song. It's a different album. All right, the Pete Carroll album is a little bit different, but last night was not good, everybody. It was just not good. I was upset. I was furious because I didn't think that we played our best football last night, and it showed on the national TV, on the national scene. Just you can't do that in this league. You can't play the way they did offensively. I thought defensively they were fine. They did okay. I mean, the Chargers made a couple plays here and there, but yeah, Geno Smith has to protect the football a lot better than what he did last night.
Yeah, but Kirk, listen, we're going to all blame Geno Smith because it's an easy thing to do. Blame the quarterback, 3 interceptions. But if we were to really start breaking this thing down, the offensive line, not good at all. The running game had little flashes, but they went way away from it later in the game. You have a 19-play drive that takes up 11 minutes, and you come away with 3 points. You have 57 drop an interception that could have changed things as well. I mean, I could just keep penalties, etc. I could keep going on and on and on. And yet, shockingly, the Raiders were still not out of this game down 20-9. They weren't down. They weren't out of it when they were down 17-6. So, I mean, I could just pick apart all day. What do you think of all this?
Well, this is where I throw my coaching hat on, Cap. Because I go to my team this morning and I show them that film and say, is that us? Look at this performance. Is that us? These are all correctable things. It's not like this team just flat out got beat last night. They gave the game away. You mentioned it. 3 interceptions from Geno. Jermaine Pratt, 57, drops an interception. Remember, a 3rd and 5, and Jordan Meredith, the center, can't even snap the ball back to Geno.
Right.
Like, what are we doing?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, these are all correctable things. You just have to execute at the right moment, and they didn't do that last night. And look, terrific job. I give Greg Roman a ton of props, the offensive coordinator for the Chargers. He dialed up an outstanding route for Quentin Johnston. Well, look, Quentin Johnston has turned into Calvin Johnson in like the last, 6 months? I don't know who Quentin Johnston is now because he's amazing for the Chargers. And then you let Justin Herbert get out of the pocket, which we just obviously didn't see a week ago what he did to the Chiefs because he did the same thing to us. And he only does it 2 or 3 plays, but those 2 or 3 plays changed the game, and he hit Keenan Allen in the back of the end zone for a touchdown. I'm telling my guys, look, this is all correctable. This is all fixable. But it's on us to have to consistently execute, play in and play out. We're not good enough right now to overcome those types of mistakes. So that's why we have to stay on point. That's what I'll be telling my team today.
Yeah, listen, I get it. This team also has gotten the best of you now, 3 straight wins by double digits. And Justin Herbert is starting to become that dude because they can protect him now. The Raiders, I got only 6 pressures on him on 32 dropbacks yesterday. You know this, Kirk. The lines of scrimmage are the thing we talk about the least in football, but it is by far, to me, the most important aspect of this. And the Raiders' lines of scrimmage was not better than the Chargers. The Chargers were the superior lines of scrimmage on both sides all game, the entire night.
I wouldn't say superior. That's a big word to use in this situation. I would say they were better last night in certain scenarios. I think what I'm really upset about is that the Raiders didn't really take advantage of Khalil Mack going out in the first quarter.
Right.
You got a Hall of Fame player who gets hurt in the first quarter, and yet I thought the Chargers defensive front was able to take away the running game. Look, before the game, I talked to Navarro Bowman. He's the linebacker coach for the Chargers, guy who I played alongside a couple times, and just one of my linebacker brethren. And the way that Deion Henley is playing at linebacker number 0, like that dude last night took over that football game. And he had Geno and Fitz. He had the run game in Fitz of the Raiders because he was just playing on their side of the line of scrimmage. That's the part that I think, not necessarily the defensive front, George, but it was the linebackers, how active they are. Look, my guy Tony Jefferson, I'm exiting the league. He's entering the league, and he's still in the league. Year 13, and he made an interception last night on Geno. I just thought they just played a game in which everybody made their plays. That's all it is. When you make your plays in the run game when they're there to be made, they made them. They made the interceptions. The ball bounces in the air because Geno got greedy. Guess what? They picked them where the Raiders didn't pick their opportunities. Didn't pick off their opportunities.
Yeah, the thing that really bothered me about Geno, I can live with the first interception. I'll call it a little fluky ball gets bounced up in the air. I can live with that one. Honestly, I can even live with the second one where he throws the ball deep, and it kind of serves as a punt, and you take your risk. I don't love it, but I can live with it. It's the third interception, Kirk, because you're down 20-9, and if you don't, if you score a touchdown, the game goes on. Even if you don't and you kick the field goal, it's 20-12, and you're still only down by one score. That was a really bad throw. You see Derwin James, stay away from that guy. That was the one that really gets to me. So here's the reality, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Do the Raiders have a better, more experienced, more professional quarterback this year than they have had in years past? Yes. But they also have the oldest and the worst of the four in the division, and that's an unfortunate reality, and it's probably something we knew going into the season.
Well, I think you always knew it was going to be a roller coaster with Geno. You just want to see the consistency. He's a guy that's going to press the ball down the field. That's just who Geno is. Going into the season, you knew the Raiders were going to try to press the ball down the field. Even Pete Carroll said it after the game, like, we got to hit some throws underneath. And Kathy, when you get a second, watch that route combination again. I love Brock Bowers. He's my guy. Brock in his prime. But, man, he was playing on one leg last night. And if you watch the route that he had on that interception, he was almost a decoy, but he could barely move. And so basically the safety said, okay, I'm going to stay on top. And that's what happened. Derwin James was an all-pro, made an unbelievable play. I give him all the credit in the world. Unbelievable play. But I thought Geno tried to score 11 points on one throw.
Yeah.
And you have to say, you know what? If they defense did great job by Jesse Minter, defensive coordinator for the Chargers, just take the underneath. And like you said, Daniel Carlson, every kicker's kicking from 50 yards anyway. So you at least take the three and give your defense one more opportunity to get a stop so you can go score for the win.
Yeah. And, the other thing is that the Raiders had so many chances. Like, I know it just looks like the Chargers crushed them, and they won by 11 points. But, there were opportunities. Like, the Chargers decided to go for it on a fourth down, and they fumble the ball, and the Raiders recover it. And they've got good field position, and they can't do anything.
Right, because the Chargers' defense is really good.
No, there's no doubt. The Chargers' defense is good, and the Raiders' offensive line isn't good. And here's the other thing. The Ashton Genty, there were a couple of moves in that game where you're like, okay, now we're starting to see Ashton Genty. Kirk, I said yesterday to George, he has to carry the ball 22 times for about 80 yards, and they got to control the clock. He carried the ball 11 times for 43 yards. What happened late in the game where it just seemed, I don't know if it was a missed block early that had him out of the game. I'm not sure what happened, but Ashton Genty, they went completely away from the guy.
Yeah. Did you watch that first sack by Khalil Mack?
I did. I did. I understand. But he's a rookie. I get it.
He's a rookie, but when you get the quarterback sack, you get the quarterback hit, you're going to be out of the pass pro. So they enter Zamir White and even Dylan Lobby, who's the third down running back. You got to be able to block in this league.
And it makes you more predictable. It makes you more predictable when you know he can't block, and when he's in the game, you're probably going to run. He's got
to go put his face in the fire, right? And look, it's going to happen over time, but he can't sit back. And then there's another clip out there that's viral right now with Geno, who's kind of scrambling, when he was kind of running around doing his Caleb Williams impersonation, and Ashton Genty's kind of just looking around like, what do I do? What do I do? So that is something that will be talked about this week. He didn't have any fourth quarter carries. And that, to me, tells you a lot. The week before over in New England, he had 10 of them.
Yeah.
So the Raiders' game plan was just all the way different. I always say this, George. Ashton Genty's a 20-5 guy. Not 20 points, 5 rebounds, but I think he's a 20 carries, 5 reception guy.
Yeah.
That should be his norm every single week.
Agreed.
And last night they couldn't get to it because they got off track. First play of the game, you throw an interception. I thought they got off script too quickly.
Yeah.
And that's why they were trying to play catch-up the entire time.
Well, we'll see. I think Pete Carroll brings a level of competence, but they're not better than the other teams in the division. That's just my opinion.
They're not.
Let me ask you this, Kirk, before we let you go. couple of quick college football questions on the way out. And obviously you and Mike have done a great job this year on ESPN2 on that 3:30, 4 o'clock game.
I got to talk to you later, George. I heard about you throwing out these Tony White.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask you. So 2 things. You can answer them quickly.
Yeah.
What do you think about Tony White to UCLA? And also, how real is USC?
We'll see this week with USC. I'll start there first. We'll see. They got a Michigan State team with an outstanding quarterback in Childs, so I can't wait to see him come to the Coliseum. This is their first real matchup. I like Jonathan Smith's crew. So they'll be tested against the Spartans. And now we'll get to see them. This ain't Georgia Southern or what is it, one of those direct
Missouri
schools,
State.
Missouri.
Yeah.
Right, We'll learn about the Trojans this week. And then Purdue last week. Come on, man, let's go. We'll learn more about the Trojans this week, and I'll have a better answer for you next week. In terms of UCLA, Tony White definitely is up there, but, I would love to see UCLA have to bring in someone who can work with less. I mean, this is a program right now that does not have the same resources as the other schools, not only in the Big Ten or even like USC. And so right now they're in a bad conference for what they're trying to accomplish. Mm-hmm. Basketball and softball and baseball, UCLA is fine. But if you're trying to play in a big boy league with football and you don't have the same capabilities of putting together a roster, that's what happened. If someone asks you right now what's wrong with UCLA, is that they try to pay $1.5 million to Nico Iamaleava to uplift a roster that's just not very good. That's not a Big Ten roster. Yeah. That's a old Pac-12 or maybe the new Pac-12 roster. So what do I say?
Right. So you think they need to? So you think that UCLA needs to find like their Brent Key, their Fran Brown, their Dave Clawson, their Bill Snyder type, someone like that.
They got to find someone who has an authoritative, I think, talk, but also can work with less. Okay, you're going to have to work with less. You don't have these, George. You know how these budgets are around.
Oh no, the commitment to football.
UCLA got that budget.
The commitment to football is fairly non-existent, honestly.
I think you're right, though, Kirk. Exactly. I think what you do is if you're UCLA, you go like this. You go, hey guys, we like being in the Big Ten for all the other sports, but can we go back to the Pac, whatever it's going to be called for football? Because we think when we play against San Diego State and Boise State and San Jose State and every other Washington State, Oregon State, we fit over there. We don't fit over here with Michigan and Ohio State and all these others. We don't fit over here.
It's bad. Yeah, it's bad.
By the way, let me jump in here. Kirk, it's Morales. I used to call you Sleepy Time Kirk because you were so laid back. I love this Kirk Morrison. Morning time Kirk, fresh off the plane. You're kicking butt. I love the energy, baby.
Well, listen, Kirk, we will have you on.
I appreciate it.
We will have you on again next week if you're available. We always love having you on. Congratulations on the Raider gig. I know you and I talked offline. We're super pumped for you, super happy for you. Don't take any of the stuff I say about the Raiders personally because it's not about you, and you know that.
Oh, never that, baby.
All right, we love you, brother. Thank you for the time. There it is,
the same old song.
Oh, he's playing the same song on the way out.
Nice.
Oh, no.
Very nice.